My fairy tale romance with Jordan started like something out of a movie. We met in a cozy little bookstore, both reaching for the same worn copy of a classic novel. He was charming, handsome, and his smile could light up a room. I was smitten from day one. He was a successful architect, often traveling for work, but he always made me feel like the center of his universe. We'd have long phone calls when he was away, and he surprised me with flowers and thoughtful gifts when he returned. Looking back, I can see how perfectly he crafted this illusion. Our wedding was beautiful, a perfect day I thought was the start of our forever. We built a life together, bought a home, and started talking about a family. For the first few years, everything seemed perfect. Jordan was the ideal husband, attentive, loving, and supportive of my career as a freelance graphic designer. His work trips became more frequent, but he always explained them as necessary for a big project he was leading. I trusted him completely. Why wouldn't I? He was my Jordan, my rock, the man I had promised to love for the rest of my life. I'd pack his bags, kiss him goodbye at the door, and eagerly await his return, never suspecting a thing. The first crack in my perfect world appeared subtly. It was a stray comment from a friend who thought she saw Jordan's car at a restaurant on the other side of town when he was supposedly in another state for a conference. I brushed it off. It was a common car model, just a coincidence. But the seed of doubt was planted. Then, there were the late-night phone calls he'd take outside, his voice hushed and low. He'd say they were urgent work matters, but his explanations started to feel thin. I started noticing a new cologne, shirts I didn't recognize, and a general distance that wasn't there before. He was physically present, but his mind seemed to be miles away. I tried talking to him about it. I'd ask if everything was okay at work, if he was feeling stressed. He'd just flash that disarming smile and tell me not to worry my pretty little head about it. He'd pull me into a hug, and for a moment, I'd believe him. I wanted to believe him. The alternative was too painful to even consider. I told myself I was being paranoid, that the stress of our busy lives was making me imagine things. I was Hazel, his beloved wife. The turning point came on our 5th anniversary. He had to go on a last-minute business trip and promised to make it up to me. I was heartbroken, but tried to be understanding. That night, I was scrolling through social media, trying to distract myself, when I saw a picture that made my blood run cold. A mutual acquaintance had tagged Jordan in a photo from a party. He was there, smiling, with his arm wrapped around another woman, and she was pregnant. The caption read, "Congratulations to the happy couple, Jordan and Sarah, on their baby shower." My world imploded. It wasn't just another woman. It was a whole other life. Sarah, a name I never heard. A baby, our baby, the one we had been talking about starting. It was public. There they were, picture after picture. Holidays, birthdays, romantic getaways. Their life together spanned years, running parallel to mine. He had 2 homes, 2 lives, and I was completely oblivious. The days on the photos lined up with his business trips. The man in those pictures was my husband, but he was also a stranger. They had been married for 3 years. He was married to me, and he was married to her. Bigamy. The crime was so audacious, so unbelievable. It felt like something from a soap opera, not my actual life. He had built 2 separate, elaborate worlds. How did he manage the logistics, the finances, the lies? The sheer mental energy it must have taken was staggering. I found receipts, flight confirmations, hotel bookings, a digital trail of his betrayal. When he walked through the door the next day, flowers in hand and an apology on his lips for missing our anniversary, I didn't scream. Welcome home, Jordan, I said, my voice steady. His smile faltered when he saw the table. He followed my gaze, and the color drained from his face. The charming mask he wore so effortlessly finally slipped, revealing the deceitful coward underneath. He opened his mouth to speak, to probably spin another lie, but I held up a hand to stop him. Don't, I said. Don't say a single word. There's nothing you can say, he tried, of course. He stammered about making a mistake, about how he loved me, how it was complicated. Complicated? He had a second wife and a child on the way. That wasn't complicated. It was a catastrophic, deliberate deception. I looked at the man I thought I knew and saw nothing but a stranger. The love I had felt for him curdled into disgust. He had not only broken my heart, but he had also made a mockery of our entire life together. He had stolen 5 years from me, 5 years of honesty and trust. I told him to get out. He begged, he pleaded, he even tried to cry, but his tears meant nothing to me anymore. I had already called my lawyer. I had also sent a neatly compiled package of evidence to Sarah. She deserved to know the truth, just as I did. We were both victims of his pathological lies. I don't know what happened between them, and honestly, I don't care. My focus was on untangling my life from his. The divorce was messy and painful, but it was also liberating. With every legal document I signed, I felt like I was reclaiming a piece of myself. Rebuilding my life has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. There are days when the anger and the sadness are overwhelming. The betrayal cuts so deep it's hard to imagine trusting anyone ever again. But I'm a survivor. I'm focusing on my work, reconnecting with friends, and slowly, very slowly healing. I learned that my fairy tale was built on a foundation of lies, but my future won't be. I am writing my own story now, one that is based on truth, strength, and my own happiness. My name is Hazel, and this is my real beginning. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe for more stories.